Alright, if anybody's watching this, I'm approaching the scene of the sweeps here in Phoenix this morning. I have received word that there is one holdout who is refusing to move, and there is now a large police presence, and people are gathering. I didn't really particularly want to come out here today, but I do feel like it's my responsibility to bear witness to the state and police violence that is occurring to the people that are living outside. This is the Assistant Homeless Director, Scott Hall. He's a liar. There's one person holding out, and this is the police response. This is our Assistant Homeless Director, Scott Hall. He's a fucking liar. I'm presuming I can't come in because there's caution tape. What if I want to go on the sidewalk to the other side?
You gotta walk around.
Why?
Because you can't be inside the tape.
Why?
You can't be inside the tape.
Why?
You have security right now.
Why can't I walk over here?
Because you got an incident down there going on. And
What's the incident?
I don't know, but we got a cooking going on down here too.
What law is keeping me from this sidewalk? Can you cite the law?
I don't need a law. I'm just
Yes, you do
asking,
need a
I'm
law.
just
What's the
asking
law?
you.
What's the
Street's
law?
closed.
The street's closed.
Do you have a citation for a law?
It's not a law. It's the street's closed. It's a street closure.
It's a street closure. Why? Why can't I walk here?
Because it's a street closure.
Why?
The street's closed.
That's bullshit. No, absolutely not. It's because you guys are harassing people that are living outside and arresting somebody who doesn't want to leave. That's why. But here, I'll play your fucking game and go around. Actually, you know what? This is a longer way around. I'm going to have to go the other way. A little faster this way. Go lie to somebody else, Scott.
Maybe I'll do that.
Guys, I have to go around. They'll probably arrest me otherwise, and I don't feel like getting arrested today. My partner's already there, but I'm gonna walk around. This is the shorter way. Right there, that police presence, that's where somebody's probably getting arrested right now because they don't want to leave. And honestly, because of the Supreme Court ruling of Martin versus Boyce, that not that anybody in the state or government gives a shit. The fact that we don't have anywhere for the people that are living outside to go means that we cannot fucking tell them to leave state property. This is, honestly, we're just breaching people's rights. Nobody cares enough for it to matter. I know you're caring, the person watching this. Unfortunately, the people with power do not care. Now, we're gonna go the long way around. All right. So, right now I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm at the state capitol where people live outside on the streets because that's where the Human Services campus is. Right now, because of the extreme issue of not having enough beds and the increasing poverty and homeless situation, people who are living outside are being removed and told to go somewhere else. The city is telling us that they're offering people places and shelters to live. Most of these shelters have very limited capacity, and most people don't qualify for them. I didn't want to go to the sweep today, but I received word from somebody that there is one holdout who is currently escalating towards possible arrest. I'm trying to make it to that corner. I was denied by city officials to walk through. The person that you saw me talking to, his name is Scott Hall. He's the assistant director of homelessness services here. He constantly lies to your face and the media, and you should not trust him. He will tell you that he experienced homelessness once. And I don't know the situation of his story. I'm sure he did experience homelessness once, but like many other white men in his position, he now uses his one instance and how he got out to govern everybody else in these positions. Should have brought my car, but I don't want to run the risk of them towing it. So, like, I live close enough to technically walk to this. I kind of skipped over here. I'm not in the best shape anymore. All right, we're turning the corner. This is Jefferson. It's a one-way road. On the other side of Jefferson, there's a big fucking cemetery over there, and over here is where most of the people stay. All right, as you can see, I'm coming up on this large police presence. It looks like it's still not over. I really don't know the circumstance. I got a phone call from a friend telling me that there's one person left who doesn't want to leave, and the police are encircling him. So I've come to bear witness. Where do they all go? I don't know. Wherever they can. There was people over on 9th the other day that were piling up on the train tracks because that's where they all got pushed to, and then that got swept. All the areas that are becoming overflowed on the edges of the zone, like this stretch right here that we're now seeing this displacement happening, it's just because there's nowhere else to go. So they're just literally shoving up wherever they can. This corner over here to the right is where that gigantic fire was the other day that took out 7 tents, and that's because everybody's just fucking slammed into each other. There's nowhere else to be. And then they use fire, because what else are you going to use if you got to cook, if you need light? And then they live amongst incredibly flammable things that aren't meant for this, because this is all we have. Wait for these fuckers to talk to me. All right, sorry about that. Am I still live? I had to get a phone call. Why? I'm outside of it. No, I want to see what you guys are doing.
Go hang out with her if you want.
No, I want to stand right here.
All right, you stay right there.
Thanks. I will.
So I guess I have to take move it back, so you have to move back too.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess you'll have to move that tape.
As long as you understand that.
Yeah, I do, sir.
All right.
Do you understand your job?
Yeah.
Is it to talk to me? Is it to talk to me?
My job is to keep you out of my scene.
Okay, am I near you?
No.
No, why are you wasting your time on me, bro? Do your job.
I am. But right now, I'm talking.
Yeah, good. I'm glad I'm bothering you.
Okay.
So from what I can tell, the person's probably right over here around this corner where I can't get to it, where these cops are protecting it.
Okay. So that'll be the thing to work off the radio. No, you don't need it now. You
Alright, so for those of you just joining us, they're doing this sweep right here. The police are harassing this person who does not want to leave. And they're refusing to leave. And for those of you who just caught it, the police are mad that I'm recording from the sidewalk. And also the assistant director wouldn't let me walk through on the sidewalk specifically for this reason, because they don't want us to see what they're doing. The police are sweeping people who are homeless in Arizona, and then they are being aggressive towards me for those of you just joining. Thank you. Now, please note here, guys, do you guys see that the cop has a, shield or something? This is the response that we have to one homeless individual who says they don't want to leave. This is what we're doing. This is the police response we're having. There's one cop car, city car. This is an undercover. 2 cop cars, 2 more cop cars. There's more over there. That one right there. Did you guys know that they're almost getting $1 billion now, and they're doing it this with that? That's what they're fucking doing with it. Hey, Bird, if you're around, come on out. There's a couple other activists out here with me, but the more eyeballs on this shit, the better. I'm blocking people as I can, guys. Sorry, it's a little hard to see because of the sun here. It's already too hot for my phone, so if my phone does go dark, it's because it overheated. I have another one in my pocket, but I'm not going to keep swapping back and forth to go live. I will be recording and uploading later, though. GCU did win. The people currently there are trespassed. This is another incident where the police are trying to displace people who are living outside in Phoenix, Arizona through the sweeps. And this is the police response for that kind of situation. The temperature right now, I'm not really sure. I think it's like $100. Excuse me, $100. 100 degrees, not sure. I'll double check the heat later. I can't tell who the person is, but I can hear that they're yelling right now. There's somebody in this tent right here that does not want to move from this sweep. And this is the police response that you're seeing, and this guy who keeps looking back at me like I'm doing something to him. The cross streets are 12th Avenue in Jefferson. This is right outside the large encampment known as the Zone, which is near Cass. This is Phoenix, Arizona. And more police are showing up, possibly just because I'm standing here, because they do get really intimidated when they're being recorded, so that's possible. And this guy right here, I call him Eisenhower. I don't know what his real name is, but he's personally ticketed my partner multiple times, and he gets really mad when I record him. And a reminder that this is the response to one person who is homeless. I think I heard they might have a possible knife and don't want to leave their home. And also look at the shield over here. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. The police budget in Arizona is, in Phoenix specifically, is $1 billion, or just under that. Oh, damn, I think it's a woman. I think I hear a feminine voice from the person that's inside of the area that doesn't want to be displaced. I'm blocking people as I see it, guys. Sorry for the trolls that don't have anything better to do. It must be the police's family. Mike and K-Plick? Okay, thank you. Let's see him. I'll block him. How do you block people besides them talking? Is it Michael Kent? Who am I blocking? Hey, what's up? I'm live, just so you know. All right, once again, this is Phoenix, Arizona. This is right outside of the zone. This is the massive, massive police response to one person who is experiencing homeless conditions and does not want to leave where they are. As I noted, we have police with riot shields. We have police with those pepper guns, and they're very angry at me for standing on the sidewalk recording them. This is typical for Phoenix. It's something I've been talking about often. I don't often go live, but I really didn't want to come down to this event because I'm tired of seeing it. Unfortunately, people told me that there was a person who's being basically harassed at this point because they don't want to leave, so I thought it was important to document. That is what you guys have come upon. I will block the negative comments as I see them. That's because you joined late. I'll be sure to post Eisenhower and how he acted when I showed up because it's very common with how they act with me. All right, so I'm blocking Tyler. Goodbye. Who else am I blocking? No, nothing happened besides trespassing, but that's the whole point, is that this is state property, right? And according to Martin versus Boyce, when the cities or whatever place doesn't have enough placement for people that are unhoused, they shouldn't be doing this. I am getting a phone call, so my live mic dropped. All right. This is media.
But he can give you more info if you want. Do we have a canine that's available?
They're going into here, which is a blocked off lot for parking that's never used for anything. That could potentially have people inside of it in stations, but you know, fuck that. They might be coming in through here to harass the person that they're trying to get out. Yes, they did. They did mention a canine. So this is the zone over here. What you're seeing is that because the zone is full and people are becoming houseless more and more often, people are displacing outwards towards the neighborhoods, which is right here. This is 12th Avenue in Jefferson. This is like one of the things I've talked about a lot. Right next to these streets, this is a library, a Carnegie historical library that is prison maintained labor for that grass over there, and we don't use it to put people in the shade. Here's an empty parking lot for whatever government building that we don't put people in to get them off the streets. It's just very simple things that they won't do. They instead give the police $1 billion to respond to situations with riot shielding out now for one person who doesn't want to leave the home they made on the street. Sorry, I'm blocking people as I see them. Usually, I don't go live, so I'm not like really ready for my trolls on a live. Guys, don't bother engaging with the trolls. They're really just pieces of shit they just don't matter, really. Like, it's people who think that this is acceptable. Like, literally, $1 billion to do this. There's one person there. This guy gets bent out of fucking shape that I'm standing legally on the sidewalk and recording him. It's like, what the fuck are we giving these people money for? I'm sorry you guys are so intimidated by the disabled veteran. Literally, I have a fucked up knee that can't do anything to you recording you. Sorry, you're being held accountable. Oops. Alright, just showing you guys the police response again. These are multiple vehicles. See, here's a couple of... Well, that's 4 right there, actually. This is an undercover. There's a couple undercovers. I can't even count this high. Media's showing up. I'm not sure who's arguing, but Spare Parts is honestly one of my longer time followers. No, they're signing on people for $75,000 a year. Didn't you know? Oh look, more riot shields for the one person who's homeless. Wow. Oh, I ain't going anywhere. I'm just like giving you guys a rolling commentary. Like, I honestly, the thing about the trolls that gets me the most is that most of them are probably going to end up in situations like this at some point in the future if all of us don't collectively curb this action. And so honestly, I just kind of feel sorry for them for being so limited in their intelligence. It's going to hurt them way more than it hurts me. I have community. They don't. Bird, if you come down, just be aware that if you try to go in through the other side of the street, they're going to tell you that it's blocked off and throw a big pissy fit, so you might as well just come around this side. The media's getting shots of the riot shield and stuff, and I hope like they highlight the huge police response once again for one homeless individual. You know what would have been a lot less expensive if we had actually proper housing and resources in place in the first. Maybe that would help. They're talking to her. I can't hear it though. Hey, quarantine tits. Yes, Tammy, one person. I'm gonna back up just a little bit because I can't personally hear the persons because I have hearing loss, but I think the media is trying to listen, so I'm gonna let them because I don't dislike this person yet. So basically what you guys are seeing here is that there's a sweep happening here in Phoenix. This is the zone over here, which is outside our Human Services campus. This is Jefferson. The Human Services campus in the zone is right outside this really big state area that has a lot of state money going into it. One of the things I like to highlight is this very empty parking lot, and over there past the police is a very empty green space that we could very easily put people in and maybe like set up some support structures for outside type of camping situations, but they don't do that. What they do instead is they give $1 billion to the police, and then we have this kind of response when they go to sweep out this area, because now we're getting too close to the gentrified neighborhoods over here. That's way too close. You got to get back over there. So what we're going to do is this person who's tired of fucking moving, tired of losing their shit, tired of being disrespected, now has this sort of police response because they don't want to fucking move. That's what's happening. I'm blocking people as I see it, guys. Honestly, this is like the best honeypot ever. Hopefully my account will get more quiet after all these people just clear out because I blocked them. KP Plinkton needs to go. I saw Bird say that, so I trust you, Bird. Where's Cape? Where are the... Like, where do you see what the people... Oh my god, I have 1,000 people in here. I can't... Cape Pinkton, talk so I can block you. How do you mod people? Okay, no, I don't want to unfollow quarantine sits. How do I do this? I don't know how to do anything. I never go live. Add moderator. Ha! Quarantine Tits, you are now my moderator. Alright. Look at that guy. Do you guys see this? Like the weaponry that they're walking around with because of this person? Also, it looks like they did get the person out right there. So successfully have removed the person from here. They are arresting them right there. I got distracted by the live, but they actually did just arrest the person right there. So once again, this is the area right outside the zone. The police department here gets $1 billion to do this kind of stuff and get mad at me recording them. And I'll post what I'm talking about. I call that guy Eisenhower. He gets really upset when I record him. So this is where the sweep was happening today. This is just very common. It's happening now for multiple years. It's been escalating because obviously the housing situation, especially in Phoenix, is getting a lot worse. Our government doesn't care. The politicians don't care. I have been actively campaigning and going to city councils and trying to enact some kind of change. I have recently given up in the last 6 months, and I'm just really an angry and bitter person because nothing works. And all you see me is talking about and showing the abuses that they do because this is it. This is all they do. $1 billion for this versus, I don't know, a couple thousand to put some shades up here and allow people to have temporary camping while they get access to resources, right? Because that's what we're doing. And our police force is just so ill-structured and trained. And as for the people who were watching here at the beginning of the live, like Eisenhower spent like 30 seconds arguing with me because I'm standing on the sidewalk recording him. And this is something that I come up against a lot. They're so angry about being recorded, and then they literally harass me in my DMs. They call me sweetheart. They patronize me because they're being recorded. Something I've talked about before. After I was out of the service, and while I was in the service, I was a pharmacy technician. In both situations, I had a camera on me. I had a camera on me for patient safety. And the moment you put a camera on these guys because they have guns at their hips and they're capable of harming people, especially if there's not a camera on them, everybody loses their mind. Absolutely not. No. Yeah, and so like the guy who just say, oh no, I was patronized, and that's something that men don't seem to understand, is that is violence. Like literally, that is a threat from these gangsters with weapons that I am bigger than you. I am badder than you. You are a sweetheart to me. You are a darling. I could hurt you. It's coded language, and you're not fooling anybody, and you're not hurting me by saying, oh no, I got my feelings hurt, because everybody else who has 2 brain cells can see that the police response to one woman, one homeless individual that didn't want to leave her shanty on the side of this. Now, come on. Now, absolutely fucking not. No, no, no. In my, I think, previous couple of videos, I actually did show this street. There was a lot of people on it. Obviously, they all got swept. The city of Phoenix will tell you that they're offering people places, but if you actually go and talk to the people, the places are very limited. Now, I do have contact with a couple of people that were displaced during the very first sweeps that are still in those hotels, but the hotels are full. They gave priority to people with disabilities, people who are elders, etc., as they should, but there's not enough for everybody else to go around. And then a lot of these people don't qualify, whatever the fuck that means, for whatever that we have decided to give them. So you don't qualify, we don't have any alternatives for you, but get the fuck out of here. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Not when we give $1 billion to the police. No. $1 billion to the police. And in the last year, you know what they've gotten? They've gotten drones with no oversight. And now there are drones that fly over my house and near where I live because they use the drones to monitor the activity of people who are walking and homeless. It's like, you guys just want that boot so deep down inside, but guess what? I do not. I do not. And this kind of police response is absolutely not okay. The way that they act, the way that they pretend to be scared, like the hysteria police officers have of being fentanyl poisoned when that's not a fucking thing. You can't get poisoned from touching fentanyl. And how scared they are that me, guys, look at me. I'm wearing fucking sandals. I look a hot mess. They're scared of me recording them because they're afraid of being held accountable. For people asking me what the fuck I'm doing, I created a nonprofit and I do lots and lots of things. I don't owe you fucking anything. If you have questions about me, I encourage you to go look at my profile and inform yourself. And if you want something handed to you, you're not going to get it. You should probably just leave. What we're seeing now is the aftermath. The person's in the vehicle right here. They're just cleaning up the area. It's just literally the last tent. So they'll have a crew come in with the little white bunny suits. They'll clear out the stuff. Supposedly they are bagging and tagging these things and holding on to them for people, but most of the stuff gets thrown away. For those of us just joining, I am covering the current sweep happening outside the largest encampment in Phoenix, Arizona, known as the Zone. Phoenix City Council has decided that in response to being sued by multiple agencies, including the ACLU and investigated by the Department of Justice, that instead of doing anything to address those issues that they're being sued and, investigated about, that they're going to double down and continue them anyways. Also, I would like to report that did nothing. That whole bit that they did to get in here did nothing. The cop stood here with a riot shield from the back for the person for no purpose. Yeah, for how many cops there was actually more cops over here earlier. There's a couple vehicles that have gone. But here's the undercover's leaving. There's right there. There's all these guys right here. Remember, they're understaffed. People like me make people support the right, yes, because holding the government accountable, yes. I don't want your support. Goodbye. And now we're just watching the city workers and crew slowly pick up as the police slowly roll out. What do I think would be a good solution? Actually taking the $1 billion that they're giving to the police to be violent criminals and using that money to establish programs. There's been so much research done that it actually only takes about, I think, $11,000 to literally house somebody for a year with adequate resources in a program structured like a low barrier program environment. There has been research on this. I'm not Googling for you, but it's proven over and over again. And all the solutions that we have established here in Phoenix, like the $25 million shelter that District 7 was so proud of recently, that would be about $40,000 per head. Once again, it's just that they're taking all this money and they're putting it into contracts, and then whoever's in charge of the contracts decides on the X amount going to whatever things. And all of these contracts that I've been discussing, almost all of these programs have limitations. They usually have a 1 or 2 year limitation. So we're putting millions and millions of dollars into systems that we bring up and then we break down. You know why? Because there's money in bringing things up and breaking them down, but there ain't no money in establishing a concise resource that helps people and is permanently established. There's no money in that. Honestly, this is my own fault. Quarantine Tits, thank you so much. By my purposeful engagement roles and the fact that I never go live, I did it to myself. I do apologize and thank you for stepping up. How do I know all this? Damn, I've been doing this shit for over 2 years now. Also, but there's my partner. She doesn't like it when I zoom in on her. She's not as personable as me. My partner, Sophia, who runs the program, the page called Unsheltered Phoenix, has been doing this shit for 5 or 6 years. And she's taught me everything I know. The only thing I can say that since my involvement in doing this kind of work is that it has exponentially gotten worse in the last year, for sure. Hi, baby. Just FYI, I'm live. Hi, honey. When I'm done with this, I got a great clip of Eisenhower when I was live and him throwing a little fit that I was recording.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww. Warms my heart.
Yeah. It was honestly super funny. I can't believe they still even bother engaging with me.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone needs to teach them. There's Scott Hall right in the middle of all of it.
I also had an interaction with him. They wouldn't let me go on the sidewalk over there.
Yeah.
So, I had it out with him briefly. I wasn't really sure if they could arrest me for the caution tape, so I did go around. I don't want to be arrested today.
And all the while, they're still posting up those signs. That's wild.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. Look at that. You see that sign that lady has in her arm right there? Those are those big signs that I've posted up that were on the other side of the street that now they're putting up where they displaced everybody on this side of the street. There's those resources. So that sign right there is basically says that if you need help to go to the Welcome Center, the Garcia Welcome Center, which is part of the CAS, which is over there. If anybody caught the interview I had with a person who lives at CAS, it's on the Standing in the Dirt YouTube. That person just recently, I think, half a month ago that I interviewed them, told us that they have people on mats inside of the Welcome Center because there is no room. They have people stacked up on mats. And past interviews that I've done that I don't even care to go back and revisit from people have told me how they refuse to go inside of the Welcome Center or CAS because of the abuses that they have there, they experience there. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm personally not going to tell anybody who's living outside and dealing with this to go somewhere that they are telling me that they're going to be raped or abused at. So, temporary shelter communities, are they helpful? I guess it just really depends on the community. The problem is that a lot of them are kind of they're billed as helpful, but they're actually kind of really restrictive. They're basically jails, where there's so many limitations and so much over-policing that only a very minuscule amount of people will actually find those situations beneficial. They're usually just ways for people to be in control, and like if you don't do whatever X resource or whatever they want, they will then take it away from you and put you in jail. Like literally, if you look at any of these bills for open air settlements and encampments and shelters, a lot of them have language in there that if the person is non-compliant, they will then be imprisoned. Or they just have other restrictions like you have to work, you can't have a dog, you can't be with your loved ones, just whatever reason it is that are limiting for people living outside. I do believe that it can be done correctly in a way that people value. If in direct, connection with the community, you're having discussions. What does security look like for you? What does safety look like for you? And then providing low barrier options for people who don't feel safe around police. Like there are alternatives. They're just not very popular because America loves control. And the best way to control people is through this. Yes, this is downtown. We're at 12th Avenue and Jefferson, right outside the largest encampment known as the Zone. The problem is that with the increasing housing crisis and lack of resources, the population has grown so much that and because of the way that the businesses are kicking people out of other streets down there, people are starting to flood out towards the streets. The Phoenix Police Department keeps getting more and more money, even though there has been extensive community outreach against them. We don't want it. We don't need it. We keep getting it. It makes everything worse. The car that had the person is gone. The police are wrapping up. As you can see, they're taking down the tape. They're taking some pictures. For people who caught the beginning of my stream, that part of the street was blocked off. It wasn't a police line, do not cross, but it was a caution tape. I did try to cross it and I got a lot of pushback, and I honestly wasn't sure if they were arresting people today if they decided to push it. And I honestly don't want to be in jail again. I do think that I would beat that charge, but I just don't want to put myself through it. Now, if you saw me arguing with Eisenhower right here when I came up, he gave me a lot of flack because he didn't want me to record, but if you are outside of this shit and on the sidewalk, it's perfectly legal. And in Arizona, while they did try to pass that 15-foot law or 8-foot law, it did not pass. So I could technically be up in the police's ass, and I just don't want to get that close because they smell. Yeah, they're breaking down this person. So this is the person that got arrested and moved at the end. They're breaking down their stuff, and they have a cleanup crew to do this. And as you can see here, they're just taking stuff and piling it into the dumpster. The woman was arrested because she refused to break down her tent. This street is being swept today, and there has been basically signage posted that you cannot trespass here. This is considered state property, which is why activists and other people are talking about it so much, is that technically when there's not enough resources or shelter beds available for everybody, you cannot push people off of state land. Phoenix continues to do this on our taxpayer dime. My friend here just pointed out that everybody is standing in the shade while the people they are displacing have very limited places to be. And what Caldwell and people like them don't realize is that by placing the blame on people who are becoming homeless, we're very easily allowing the government to continue to get away with this. I don't want $1 billion going to these fuckers. These fuckers don't do shit. These guys ask me if I have housing when they displace people from my neighborhood. No, what the fuck? Not. Absolutely not. All right, for those of you just joining, we are now seeing the cleanup of this location where somebody just got arrested. They were the last holdouts of the sweep that was occurring on 12th Avenue in Jefferson in Phoenix, Arizona. The police response has thinned out a little bit. The street was full of vehicles. I'll post about it later. We're just seeing the end result. They're taking this person, the last person that was there that didn't want to go anywhere, and they're displacing the shit. I mean, they're throwing away the stuff. Yeah, and this is what they do. Now, the police department here in Phoenix gets over $1 billion, or about $1 billion now. And this is what they do. They displace people and then they stand in the shade. It's cute. It's cute. All right, I'm actually going to change my location now. And I'm going to get a bigger shot of what was going on over here. I wanted to stay over there in the shade myself personally. But this is the location. As you can see, they're just taking all of this person's belongings that got arrested and displaced from here, and they're throwing it away. Oh, is it? Are they keep? Oh, I'm sorry. These are the containers where they're keeping them for, what is it, 12 days or something, and then you have to sign some paperwork. Okay, anyways, eventually the shit's gonna get thrown away.
I wonder if it counts if he's in jail.
Who?
I wonder if it counts if he's in jail. Like, he might be in jail longer than the 7 days they're supposed to keep it.
I mean, nobody's keeping track of this.
Well, actually, the ACLU is keeping track of it, right? Because this guy was the last one out of the whole sweep, and he was trying to, like, hold
Was
down
it
the spot.
a guy or a lady? I thought I saw a lady.
It was a guy.
Really? Okay.
I mean, I don't know what gender they are.
I wasn't sure. I heard a feminine voice. I didn't get a good shot.
They have these special workers in the Tyveks to collect all of his things and hold them in the garbage cans because they're being heavily watched by the ACLU. Okay. And so the whole time during this sweep, there's been multiple people saying, especially Scott Hall, saying don't throw away these things because we're being watched, et cetera, et cetera. Gotcha. And basically they threw away other people's shit, but they knew they couldn't throw away this man's stuff. So
because they're being watched now. Because
they're being watched. Yeah, so shout out to the ACLU for...
Thank you for the ACLU for holding them accountable. As my partner just said here, they are watching very carefully to the point that the Assistant Director of Homelessness, Scott Hall, who is a notorious liar, was telling people, hey, make sure you are doing this correctly. We are being watched.
And they actually threw away a woman's stuff. Don't point the camera at her, but she's still here.
Oh, shit.
She walked up and was just totally devastated. Like, oh my God, like, what have you done? Like, I just lost everything. She lost her medication, which was, like, probably the foremost thing she was concerned about, but she was also saving some clothes for her kids, and it all got thrown away.
Yeah, okay. I missed that one. Is that the lady over there to my right? All right, if you didn't quite hear that, my partner, who was standing over here closer to the action, witnessed a woman to my right who, out of respect, I'm not going to film her. She came up after the sweep was happening and lost a lot of her items, medication, things she was holding on to for her children, and is just trying to... actually, she's talking to media right now. So that's basically what happens, and this is a reminder that this is the only notice that people really got, and the day right before this, they came and told people that it was happening. This is what our tax dollars are going to. I personally still pay taxes, actually. I personally would like my taxes to go to something different. The most stupidest and, like, low value thing to say is take them into your home. Like, I haven't already. Like, are you guys kidding me? You think I haven't? I definitely have. Like, I can't house anybody long term, but if you think I haven't had somebody in my house and given them a shower, okay. There is not really any safe place to go to. So once again, this is outside the zone. This is the zone right here. Right on the other side of that truck over there, that is the Welcome Center. That is CAS, Central Arizona Shelter Services. All of these streets, the way that it works is the places that are like CAS, that are a shelter, people are allowed to basically camp on these areas off the sidewalk because it's public property. And there's literally nowhere else to go. I think there's only like 600 beds in there, and they're all full. So what's been happening is, because of our increasing issue with the government keeping all the money for themselves and not putting it into social programs, more and more people are becoming homeless. Primarily, one of the things I like to talk about a lot is I've seen a lot of people who are like homeless veterans or other people on fixed disability incomes of whatever sort that literally cannot afford housing anymore. Whether they have addiction issues or mental health issues, the biggest thing is that they're ending up out in the streets because they don't have housing. And then, instead of doing anything about it, when they get too close to the rich parts, to the neighborhoods, they do this. They do this. And now, the response is to put up signs saying, "Oh yeah, it's close to camping for a public nuisance. Sorry, I just passed away." If my phone is doing something, because I saw somebody saying about data, it's because it's really hot out here and my phone's really close to overheating. If it does go dark, I won't go live again, but I'll continue recording on my backup phone, and I'll just update you guys later with a recap. But I mean, this is pretty much it. You're not missing anything. It's going to be the police standing here in the shade and looking at me angrily, and then it's going to be them cleaning up the last of the stuff left by that one person they arrested. Then they'll take down this. The media will go. Oh, is the fire department here? Oh yeah, I saw them over there. I didn't actually say anything that they're over there, but every single like medical emergency gets a huge response over there. It's like I can't. I've already talked about this in other TikToks. Yes, the person that was living right here. This has now been deconstructed. It was a person's like lean-to type home. This was the last person who refused to move from this section. I didn't actually catch when they managed to get her out of her tent, but I did catch when they were putting her into the vehicle and arresting her, or them. And that's just basically what's happening. I was actually standing in the shade earlier, but then I wanted to get more shots, and that's it. I was actually standing there earlier just to catch mostly the police, and I'm trying not to film the people that are going through the displacement.
Right now they're about to throw away a shopping cart, which they've done multiple times today. But people who live on the streets are criminalized for having those shopping carts. So I've actually seen cops stop people with shopping carts and take them away. And this is obviously how you can tell how much they care about those specific shopping carts. That's probably the fourth or fifth I've seen disposed of today.
And that's something that the ACLU has been contesting here, is that it is theft. We are throwing away people's stuff. The person who is speaking to the media right now over to my right is talking to them about how their stuff was just thrown away in this. And it's the continuous ongoing cycle of the police saying, oh, we got their documents, oh, we're doing this, but they don't. They don't. They just say they do. They expect you not to care because fuck these people, they're homeless. And that's the end of the story. What money do you guys think I get from TikTok? Like, are you slow? Like, I post all of my money stuff online. Like, I have a nonprofit. All of the money goes to the nonprofit, and I get water to people. Like, you're not proving literally anything. I'm not in the creator fund. I've never joined it. I'm not trying to make fucking money from this. I'm trying to, like, live. off of the disability compensation I get from the government. What's up? The cop said that once you leave, we'll leave. He likes to talk. He likes to talk a lot.
You're just wasting tax dollars for fun. But you care about what I'm doing right now? Okay, yeah. It's so cute when you get uncomfortable because your whole posture changes. Yeah. Keep talking, bro. Keep talking. Making yourself look bad. Y'all can just leave. But they're stupid, so they're not gonna. Literally standing in the shade while there's
I'm not showing respect to this guy. He's a douche. Why don't you guys just take the boot? No, thank you. If you enjoy it, have at. I'm not about it. Alright, I am very likely about to lose my connection. So, alright guys, live going out. Catch the, oh look at them smiling. It's a disability compensation. I hope that hurts.